Blockchain technology seems like a very often used buzzword in Sri Lanka's context, and we hear a lot about it in the papers, or if you read something online, or even hear something in terms of a lot of the events that you hear. But it has really taken place and gone forward in countries like Malaysia. And we are with us here today to speak to something that is actually happening on the ground. We're in conversation with Stephen Chia, who is the regional head for Southeast Asia at NEM Foundation. Welcome to Economy.lk on this front row episode. So Stephen, just to start off with, I think for our viewers, just to set the ground steady on it, blockchain technology and digital economy. We hear these two things a lot in conversations. How does blockchain technology push forward things that are going on in the digital economy?
Well, all across the world, not just in Asia, many countries are looking at blockchain as a very core technology to power their business or the systems within governments or even countries. So why is blockchain technology so pervasive is because imagine you have a technology that is very powerful, that you can deploy in any industry, not necessarily for financial or fintech. Basically, the technology is able to be used in multiple industries where you need, number one, trust, or you need a resilient network, or you need a network that is actually able to power your systems and be scalable. So that's the reason why blockchain as a technology is growing all around the world, or interest in it is also growing around the world.
And I think with what NEM does as well, and the hub that it has created, I think it's really brought up an ecosystem. Could you explain a bit about that and how that came about, and maybe how something similar could be replicated in countries like Sri Lanka?
Okay. For us, NEM Foundation, actually, we are a custodian to NEM as a project or a community. What the project on NEM is all about is we are actually quite an interesting organization. We are a technology organization, but non-profit. So we're structured very similarly to other technology foundations like Linux Foundation or even .NET Foundation, because the core technology that was created by the smart young people in NEM is one of the world's leading blockchain protocol platform. So because it's open source, as a foundation, our job is actually to educate and promote and to introduce the technology all around the world. So in a sense, the reason why I'm actually in Sri Lanka is actually to share our experiences in how people can actually use blockchain technology. Well, first it starts with the understanding of what is blockchain first. Then how can a company or government or even individual able to use this technology to power their business or even their systems around the world.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned how NEM is working across the globe. Are there big differences between what you see in technology being used in Asia versus North America, or is Asia ahead?
Well, actually, you're right. In certain countries or certain aspects, Asia is actually more open to embracing this new technology of blockchain. Mainly it's because around the world, we see that there are many systems. Some are legacy systems, and some are actually legacy regulatory environments. But in Asia, we are finding that a lot of times, they are more open to embracing this new way of doing. And I think certain countries are actually ahead in embracing this technology.
It's a lot more disruption happening, if I would.
Yes, like for example, our leading markets for NEM blockchain and implementations are happening in, our largest market is actually in Japan and in Korea, our second largest market for NEM itself. And across Southeast Asia, especially in Malaysia, we actually built, for NEM, we actually built Asia's largest blockchain center in Kuala Lumpur. The whole idea is actually to use the center to support our companies or organizations who each is using the technology.
Yeah. And I think the question when you look at a concept like blockchain and the technology is its application. And I think a lot of industries here are curious as to, can my industry, plug into this as well? Regionally, what what is plugging into things that the platforms that you all are creating and other platforms? What are the industries and types of sectors that are really seeing the change?
For start, of course, blockchain technology has the core technology. A lot of people or companies look at it to solve some of the issues with in the financial world. For example, you have systems where legacy banking systems may not be able to keep up with the pace of today's mobile and e-commerce on the internet. So blockchain actually starts there, but then that is only one aspect. There are other many non-financial use cases of blockchain technology that we are seeing around the world. And in particular for Asia, there's many issues where trust is needed within a certain industry. For example, if you have a product that is, let's say, in a plantation, as the product goes through the ecosystem and the product is delivered to the customers want to know where it has been, where it comes from. So with blockchain technology today, there are companies that says, hey, why don't we put that supply chain or the logistics on the blockchain so that it's transparent and people trust it. Industries like pharmaceuticals, plantations, even industries with medical records, for example, or even car health records. Those are some of the industries that are actually deploying blockchain-based solutions to solve some of the pain points in their industry. Yeah, and I think it's no different probably in Sri Lanka. I mean, Sri Lanka is one of the largest producers of tea, for example, right? But when customers want to engage or purchase that product, they want to know that, okay, where does it come from? What are kind of like the things that happen to that particular tea leaf when it leaves the plantations? So that could be probably one of the biggest use case possibly for blockchain technology in this country.
So I think there you heard it. I think two main insights you heard. Asia is really driving blockchain technology more than maybe some of the North American countries. And closer to home, maybe the biggest disruption could actually happen to a very old industry in Sri Lanka, which is the tea industry. And I think that's two things that we could take forward as we try to explore how we can apply blockchain technology in Sri Lanka. So thank you so much, Stephen, for having this brief conversation with us on Economy.lk. Stay tuned for future episodes like this.